Happy New Year to you all. Welcome back. Thank you for joining us again on the Frankly Speaking Jamaica podcast. This is our first episode for 2024. We have our panelists, Desmond Richards, Winnie Anderson Brown, and Mary White with us. Again, doing the technical and graphic support is Joshua Black. Welcome to you, colleagues. This is a reminder to you viewing live that you may comment or ask a question while we speak. And just remember, this podcast is being recorded and will be posted on the YouTube channel, the Frankly Speaking YouTube channel, and will be available right after this program. Share it with your friends, please. And of course, we ask you to subscribe. Big agenda item this week. Desmond, your first take. Just tell us what's in a sentence or two what you're going to be dealing with.
Well, the upcoming local government elections, that is one of the things I want to discuss. Also want to touch briefly on the Integrity Commission and, of course, the crime problem.
Okay, let's see how much time we have. Winnie, over to you. And Winnie, I'm going to disclose to viewers that you are in frigid Canada. I don't know if frigid is the right word today, but yes.
Okay, today I'm going to focus on artificial intelligence, especially in the classroom.
Beautiful. Artificial intelligence in the classroom. Mary, you are in warm Kingston.
Absolutely. And it's showing on my countenance. Days before stroke paralyzed her body, her voice, face, and she sent all the pre-warning signs she needed to know that she was going to have a stroke. But of course, she didn't know. When friends said to her, you sounded different, customers and co-workers said to her that you don't look good, and she felt overwhelmed, fatigued like she had never felt before. Little did she know that a stroke was coming. The Brenda story coming up.
Wow, stroke. We're scared of it. Well, my thing is going to be crime today. Crime. But I want to just touch a little story out of St. Mary. I want to give you, please look at this video for 16 seconds. That's all it is, or 20 seconds thereabout. And I'm going to make a brief comment, and then we're going to come back to Desmond to take on crime. This is a story that, take a look. Well, we're not there, right? We're not there. Okay. So let's go to Desmond then. Let's go to Desmond. Desmond, start on crime, and we come back to that St. Mary's story. Go ahead, Desmond.
The crime problems that last year and for the many years continues. As we speak, the murders continue, and all over the country, just like last year. Well, I'm the Minister of National Security. I spoke with him recently, last week, and he said that...
Is that on your program, on Rebel Radio?
On Rebel Radio, yes. Yeah. And he said, well, then, what he's doing is that the government is investing in the police force to bring the police force up to standard, and it will result in a reduction in crime. I sincerely hope he is correct. But as we speak, blood is running all over the country. All over. The murders continues.
That's not actually happening, Desmond, on the streets. You're meaning that it's still full of crime, and there's obviously would be 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 murders today if the trend continues.
No, I am saying that since the start of the year, there have been murders all over Jamaica.
Yes,
right?
Yes.
Just as it was last year. It continues. People are grieving and people are losing. And as I repeat, I said blood is running all over the country.
All right. Okay. And you're going to take your other part, or you want us to let in Mary here?
Well, also at this time, the country is preparing for our upcoming elections, local. And this is one of the chances. The people have not had the chance to change their representative since 2016. So in next month they will get a chance. And I sincerely hope that the people will use their experience to guide them as they choose who they are going to vote for.
But don't the people do that all the time, Desmond?
No. Don't accept the temporary gifts and vote for a candidate. Look for candidates who are presenting policies that is going to benefit and help the communities. People want water, roads, employment. Those are three of the issues facing people all over the country.
And just before we shift from you, Desmond, people don't vote. How do people vote in local government election? What's the history of people voting in local government elections? They don't vote on those issues.
I am telling the voters now that these are things that are affecting them, and they should put these at the forefront when they are casting their ballots. Look at the issues and vote according to the issues.
Okay, sir. All right.
Obviously,
we'll come back to you, sir. Mary, I didn't hear that.
Yes, but I don't want to think of foreign where people voting on issues. We're a partisan country. We vote on parties that our family grew up in. So that's just what it is. But as I move on today to continue the Brenda story and to share her experiences, she wants the word to get out there to hope, in the hope that she can save somebody from suffering what she has suffered. And
so just in case, Brenda is who is Brenda? Is she
my girlfriend? She's 40-something. My 40-something girlfriend.
Oh yeah, Brenda is your friend, and you're sharing her experience.
In December. Yes.
Okay. Sorry. Yes.
She suffered a stroke in December. So she says before the actual what we call the stroke, which is when you get hit down and you get all of the lack of movement and all of that. She said she was at work and moving about doing her normal duties, but was experiencing different signs, but she didn't know. And obviously not even her doctor recognized them because she went to the doctor like a day or two before she actually had the big stroke. And she did tell him about the numbness she was feeling in her finger because people did see her trying to massage her finger to try and because it was numb. So here we go with the 9 signs, right? Tension, headache. She mentioned
Mary, how do we know that? We know you are not we all know that you are not a medical person. Why should we accept these signs? Why should we believe in these signs you're telling us about?
These signs are from my girlfriend Brenda. She's 40-something, as I was saying, and she suffered a stroke in December. So this is her story that I've written. It's going to come out in Glass Houses 3. One of the stories coming out in Glass Houses 3, which is if people have know the book, they know it's a book where I share stories from different people, hoping because our experiences are similar to help somebody by sharing somebody else's story.
Okay, so run through the signs quickly, please.
Yes. So the 9 signs that I have documented here, she mentions a very extreme tension in her neck. You can't miss it, she says. It's so intense, you can't miss this tension, pain in your neck. Extreme tiredness like you have never felt before. Poor motor skills. She said her coordination was just off, like things, she take up things and they just fall from her hands, that sort of thing. She's putting down things and she putting them before she thinks she reached the place to put it, but she put it down halfway and it falls. She mentions headache, extreme headache, which turned out later to be that her blood pressure was up and high and she didn't recognize, but she had this sign of this headache. Faint feelings, your body feel like you're going hot and cold, you're feeling faint. Disorientation would come in with the poor motor skills, of course, where you're feeling sometimes confused. You're sure you have something straight, only to realize that you know something in your mind, like, okay, I'm to put the food in the fridge, but you end up putting it on the counter. That sort of this confusion. Numbness in her left, starting with her little finger. She said for days she was feeling the numbness in her little finger, like her little finger was going numb, and she was massaging it and that. Incontinence, where she started lost the ability to hold her pee or her feces. So before she get to the bathroom, she would lose it. And these are the 9 signs that she mentioned, 2 to 3 days that she was feeling before she had the stroke.
2 to 3 days before she had the stroke. And
Yes.
what did the stroke do to her?
I may say that those signs that Mary gave a while ago, I recall reading them recently from a medical practitioner about numbness. I recall reading those signs.
Oh, thank you, Brother Desmond. Thank you so much. What were you asking, Mr. Ma'am?
I was asking you what did the stroke do to her? What did she lose?
She's totally paralyzed in her left side.
God.
So she's unable to walk. She's now bedridden, if as I've written in my article.
And this is somebody who was up and about.
Oh my gosh. Because she was at work the days before, pushing through all the symptoms. She was pushing past and through them, and actually at work. And as I said in the intro, one of her friends who called her within the day or two said to her, "Oh, you sound like somebody who have a stroke." She was at work when that happened, and she said, "No, I'm not have the stroke." You say you sound like somebody who have a stroke. You know, Siri, the voice recognition on her phone. She said she noticed that she would say to Siri, "Call Mary," and Siri didn't respond. Obviously, her voice had changed, and she didn't recognize. She said that people at work was saying to her, "Oh, you look very, you don't look good at all." You know, when Jamaicans say that, they mean that you look very thick. But she didn't even recognize that. That she said she felt like her body was pulling her down, pulling her forward. But you know, we're strong Jamaican women, so we keep pushing through these things, not recognizing that these were all pre-warning signs.
Wow.
Thank
you for bringing it to us, Mary. And it's I think a lot of us, especially as we grow older, fear the stroke, have it in the back of our heads, and we know people. I mean, I know so many people. I know somebody who was 30-odd who had a stroke the other day. Didn't lose all function, but lost function in one side of the body.
Same thing with her.
And perhaps it's something that we should take up again next time.
Desmond, one side of the body, it's hard to move the other side because it's like you're living half dead and half alive.
Yes. Winnie, you go ahead. Just jump in.
Yes, I just want to say that I heard you say that she could not move her left side, right?
Yes.
She's immobile on the left side.
Yes.
That means it's the right side of her brain that's affected.
Yes. Okay.
Because
but that technicality, I don't know.
The left and the left to the right.
That's right.
So she can speak. Happily for her.
Yes, she can speak.
Because the left side of the brain is where language is housed. So whenever I hear that, I always ask which side. If she's speaking, it means that it's the right side of the brain that was affected.
Yeah. I think we're going to ask Desmond at a later stage to get one of his Desmond and other medical friends to get one of those who can talk about stroke and some of the signs we should look out for. It's one of those health issues which is always there, an issue that is always there.
So, Mr. Matt, just to wrap up, is that what's the difference? Because my girlfriend's daughter, she's like 20-something, she had a stroke, but they found her within the first hour. Her brother found her, and they were able to rush her off to the hospital, and they were able to give her the treatment that she needed. And so she has made a full recovery. She didn't suffer any of these paralysis or anything.
How old you said she was?
She's in her 20s, early 20s.
20s?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh.
So the thing with a stroke is that if you can recognize the symptoms early, or if you are found early, if you pass out and you are rushed to the hospital, then early treatment makes all the difference as to your final analysis, whether you go to the paralysis stage or you regain your full mobility in just like that.
Thank you, Mary. We got to get back to it, Desmond. We got to get a medical person to run us through one of these afternoons. Winnie, we are coming to you now. You are on. You go ahead.
Okay. As everyone would know by now, I'm dubbed the AI ambassador. It's not because there isn't a dark side to artificial intelligence, I want us to focus specifically on chatbots. And PO, Platform for Open Exploration, is a great site to go to make sure
Winnie, sorry, I've got to hold you back a little bit because you're taking it for granted that a lot of us who are watching or are here are techie people. Tell us briefly, just in a sentence, what is chatbox, and then tell us what is PO, P-O-E.
Okay, all right. A chatbot is just a machines that talk back to you. Yes. So just as how I can have a conversation with you or anyone else, I can have a conversation with a large language model or a chat bot. There are different types of chat bots, but we're focusing on the large language models. And PO, that is Platform for Open Exploration. You'll meet a number of the chat bots there, and you can always create your own chatbot when you go to that site. And as you can see from the screen, yes, as you can see from the screen, there's assistant. And at the top of the screen, you see create bot. I don't want you to start there. I want you to take a look at the different chatbots that are available to you. So Chat GPT, yes, 3.5, that is available, that's free. And you can also experiment with GPT-4. Look at the number on the screen. When you go there, you can see many of them, but I don't want you to be overwhelmed. I want you to choose one and start. The instructions are clear.
So those are what? Those boxes, they are what? When I click on one, what happens?
These are chatbots that you can communicate with. Yes.
Okay. And how does that affect me as a teacher? What can I do with that?
As a teacher, not only my research, but I can brainstorm, I can help my students. And my students can also be encouraged to go to the same site and learn how to create their own. So in the short time, what I want you to leave with is that there is this site, POE, which stands for Platform for Open Exploration, that you can go there and explore and create your own chatbot. Mm-hmm. If you have questions, please make sure you put the questions in the chat so that at least we will be able to answer you and help you along.
Wow. Yeah. Wow. That seems like a world away to some of us, though.
It is a world away, but all you need to do is to just make the first step.
Okay, beautiful.
Well,
thank you.
It might sound like a world away for the older people, but that's the future. That is what exists now for the younger people. And it is important for the young people to get to know and understand this, because this is what they are going to encounter.
Not going to. It is here. It is here now. And I don't agree that it is the older people. It's for the older people who do not want to be left behind, who do not want to live dying, but die living.
I thought, Sir Mac and Winnie, that it was the young people who were into the devices. But as I hang out more with what I consider to be the more mature folks, I'm so annoyed with them. I can't. Yeah. You can't get their attention. They're stuck in these black boxes, in these devices. So children, the younger people, don't just pick up habits falling out of the sky. They're picking up habits that they see the older folks doing. The older folks are disgusting. They're stuck into their devices. You can't have a good conversation anymore. I'm tired.
It's not the older people. Maybe it's in middle age, but not the older people.
The older people. What you call older, by the way? I'm talking
to divine.
Different experiences. We gotta move on. Okay, we gotta move on. Different experiences. I'm gonna show you somebody who's not an older person, but Mr. Black Images Service is going to show you a little video now. I just like you to look at it. This is not my main issue. I'm going to just take a few seconds after the video is done. 16-second video. This happened in Port Maria, St. Mary. Take a look. Mr. Black is not there yet. Okay, he's there. He's there. He's there. He's here. He's here. He's coming up. And as you see, it's a story that's on the North Coast Times. You can go to the website there and see that. So you can see that, and I'm going to play it one more time just in case you say. It's only 16 seconds. We're going to beg Mr. Black to play it one more time. It's a woman who is in a parking lot. It's a supermarket parking lot in Port Maria. She's just walking through the parking lot. A car comes around. Car is said to be operating as a taxi. Said to be operating as a taxi. Hits her over. And I'm going to tell you a very brief story after that. Go ahead, Mr. Black. We are waiting on you to see this one more time. And here's the car coming after this now. Here's the lady walking. Okay, it's very sad. It's very graphic. It's not too terribly graphic.
She died? She died?
No. She had a broken leg. She suffered a broken leg.
Yeah.
And that happened on December 5 last year, December the 5th. Subsequent to that, she was hospitalized. She was hospitalized right away, and then she was in hospital for 5 days preparing for surgery. Long and short of it, people, is that she did not have surgery. She went through 3 hospitals, Anota Bay, Port Maria, finally St. Anne's Bay, went to the, essentially, and I'm going fast, essentially, the doctors found that she had conditions which did not predispose her easily to surgery or to make surgery right away. So she suffered. She got help from her family. She was discharged. She was at home. She went to the hospital last week, Thursday. And again, surgery was put off. She had some more things to go and check out, more lab tests to do. She died in the arms of her daughter on Thursday afternoon. And I've done a lot of work on this little story. And my friends who are medical, particularly one, said, you cannot die. A fracture doesn't kill anybody. So it's not the lack of surgery that killed her. It's not the lack of surgery. But there'll be more on the North Coast Times website. It's just heartbreaking, and it's just Jamaica. Right there in a supermarket parking lot. Final thing I want, and her name is, I'm sorry, you should give her a name, as they say, remind you in journalism. Andrea Cain, Andreacain. And the final shocker about this, I'm going to tell you, this happened in Port Maria, center of the town. Up to this time, the police have not taken a report of the incident. Nobody has been arrested or charged up to today at 2 o'clock then, right? This happened December 5. Okay. Desmond?
That is the story of Jamaican poor black people in this country. Everything that impact the life of the majority of poor black people in this country is lagging behind. The public medical facilities are down. All the agencies of government treat us in a less way. We get less service, right? If that person was a member of the upper class, all all the actions would have been taken effectively. The reality of
It would
Jamaica.
have been done, Desmond, that December 5 to
Yes.
January 11.
Yes.
Oh man, okay.
We
We're gonna
want to
move on.
we want to
Sorry, go ahead, Mary.
we want to welcome our visitor, Sir Mac, before we move on. We want to
Okay.
welcome Rubian and Jacqueline, who is with us. Thank you so much for joining us. Rubian is saying that she needs to learn how to use AI. I totally agree, because I understand my friend sends me these
Go
my
ahead, go
friend
ahead.
sends me these beautiful love letters that he writes with AI. Never got more than 2 lines from him before AI came in, but now I have long, full page love letters. So AI is a good thing. You may want to learn that. And Jacqueline is just giving us a high five. Hi, Jackie, high five to you too. And we invite all of you to tune in. You can log in, send in your comments, and we will take them if we have time on the show. Thank you so much.
I never thought about AI and romance, but that's for another time.
I have the love letters to prove it.
What do you say, Winnie?
I can tell you that. I'll teach you how to write your own with AI.
Oh, wonderful.
Thank you,
wonderful.
Winnie.
Okay. Now, my little say, and there's so much, and I'm going to have to just cut this so short. My emotions were stirred over the holidays by a report from U.S. television station about New York City. Yes, New York City has about 9 million people, or 3 times the population of Jamaica. The report from CBS News came about the same time that Jamaica was learning that the murder total for this country for 2023, something Desmond has talked about earlier, was 1,383. 1,383. That was a reduction of 7.5% on the previous year of well over 1,400. Now, there was a lot of song and dance to some extent. I'm not going to be distracted by that. Now, we know that over 1,200 people, roughly, somewhere around there, have been murdered every year in Jamaica for the last 20 years. Desmond gives us these statistics all the time. Now, I ask people to guess. I'm not going to guess. I'm just going to give you the story. How many people were murdered in New York City last year? 9 million people is the population, 3 times Jamaica's. Yes, I'm going to tell you. The report, and subsequently I checked it, there were 390 murders in New York City last year. 9 million people. And that was down by 11% on the previous year. Down by 11% on the previous year. No, that's enough data. Look, I just want to tell you, I have put my meter on intolerance to anybody, any politician, any civil servant, any set of people, any set of journalists who want to suggest that we're doing well, or we're doing okay, or we're doing 5% or 10%. It's time that Jamaica deals with this matter of crime and violence and murder of our people. We're no less than the people in New York or in Sweden or in wherever. It's time. And that's enough for me for today. We don't have a lot of time, so I'm going to have to close off. Desmond, I feel obliged to make you say one last word before we close.
Well, my last word I saw last week, where the politicians continue to make suggestions that they want to reduce the effectiveness of the Integrity Commission. I want all of us, all Jamaica, to pay attention to what is happening. The politicians don't want an effective Integrity Commission because, remember, they are the ones, when it comes on to corruption in Jamaica, the politicians are on the front for the last 60 years. They are the ones who are the leaders. They are the ones who are up front. Their names, they are the ones who are leading in the corruption in Jamaica. And therefore, they don't want an effective Integrity Commission.
Mary, your last word, Mary. One sentence or two.
It's a new year, and there's a lot of new opportunities. and also a lot of new struggles ahead. So pay attention to your wellness. Let wellness, for me, this year, wellness is the thing. Pay attention to how you're feeling. Doctor visits as needed to check out your health and stay healthy for the year.
Winnie, your time.
I would say to everyone, if you have not yet spoken with a chatbot, get with it, because this is a new world.
Thank you all for joining us again for the Frankly Speaking Jamaica podcast. Thanks to Desmond, Winnie, and Mary. Remember, this 30-minute podcast will be on YouTube. Thanks for sharing, and please subscribe. On behalf of the team, I'm Franklin McKnight, and our team includes Joshua Black. Until then.
Thank you, everyone. Over and out.
Bye-bye. Take care of the opportunities. Thank you all.
Thank you, Franklin. Until then.
Until then.
Yes, take care. Bye-bye.